Hi, I just want to talk a little bit about one of my experiences as I was going through compassion fatigue. I have this quirk. When I'm ruminating about something, when there's something bothering me, a song will pop in my head and I get kind of a brain worm and it repeats. It'll go on repeat. And if I stop and listen to the words and just really hear the words, I'll pick up on a phrase that encapsulates what I'm experiencing, what's going on with me. And there was a time in 911 where the song Desperado by the Eagles was on an endless loop in my head. Now, the song is a haunting melody, and it is a song about reaching out to someone that the singer loves to try to help them recognize their own value. It's reaching out to someone who's self-destructing. And when I listened to the words of Desperado, I recognized that the phrase that was touching my heart was, "You're losing all your highs and lows. Ain't it funny how the feeling goes away?" And that's where I was. I had lost my highs and lows. I wasn't feeling too much down, but I also wasn't feeling any joy. Um, as I got better, the first time I laughed out loud, I was like, "What's that noise?" Because it had been such a long time. So, feeling that way, and as I look back now, it was one of the symptoms of the compassion fatigue. And I've learned about high functioning depression. I knew I wasn't depressed. I was able to get up and go to work. I was able to feed my kids. I was able to do the things. I just didn't have any emotion. I just didn't have any delight in my life. And that's a crappy place to be. It's awful. But I'm here now to give you hope, because the counterbalance to compassion fatigue is compassion satisfaction. Now, what is compassion satisfaction? Compassion satisfaction is the feel good when you help somebody, that yes feeling. Now, we're human, we're hardwired. You're hardwired to help. We see it in infants. If a baby is crying next to another baby, they join in together because they want to help. And toddlers will give each other a toy to try to get the crying to stop. And it's just so precious. We're wired to help. When we see movies where the protagonist is going through a difficult time, it touches our hearts because we are wired to care about others and to want to help. My experience in 911 was that I didn't feel that feeling. When I came in, I loved it. I loved helping people, but after years, the cynicism grew, disdain for the callers grew, frustration with the field responders, the people on the radio, and with my coworkers in the room with me. Uh, it was frustrating that I didn't have any sense of joy in my work at all. I still helped people. That was my work, but it didn't feel good. I didn't notice that I was helping people. I just noticed when it was aggravating. And if you're there, man, that sucks. That's a hard place to be. And there's hope. There's hope. So, what do I want you to do? I want you to learn to cultivate compassion satisfaction, to grow it within yourself. Now, I'll tell you how to do that. I want you to use the power of your imagination. You have this incredible power in your brain. You can imagine things. What I want you to imagine, I want you to remember or create an imagination of helping someone. And
create it as fully as you can. Use all the sensory data you can, smells, the sensations in your physical body, the visual of what was around. Use all the sensory data that you can call up to really feel the feeling. The incident that I use for this exercise often is, it's probably 30 years ago. I took a call. I remember where I was. I remember which station I was sitting at in the comm center when I took this call. And the woman sounded like she was in her 80s or 90s. She just had a frail little old lady voice. I don't know how to describe it. And she said, "Honey, my husband died 7 years ago. And when he was alive, he always told me not to put batteries in the trash can because they're a fire hazard or explosive hazard or something like that. But, honey, he never told me what to do with them. And I've got 7 years of dead batteries, and I don't know what to do with them." And I said, "Well, ma'am, our fire department has a program, and if you take it to the fire department, they will do something with them." Which was true at the time. She was so delighted. She was so excited. The woman thanked me. I bet she spent more time thanking me than she told me about the problem. And she was just ebullient with joy that I was able to help her with this conundrum. Now, this is just a tiny little thing. This one didn't turn out to be a call for service. This didn't turn out to be anything too memorable, but I still remember how I felt. It was just such a good feeling. She was so excited and she was so appreciative. And so I imagine that because I can picture where I was, I can picture what was around me, and I have a sense of place in that memory. And so those sensory um, details matter. Now, when you get that feeling, I want you to hold on to it. What does that mean? To feel your feelings, I want you to notice what sensations are triggered in your body. That's what feeling your feelings is. Did you realize that? That when we have a feeling, it changes something in our physical being. When we feel joy, when we feel anger, with the stomach churning and the heat and the tension, you feel that, right? Well, good feelings have the physiological response too. And we have to pay attention to help those good feelings stick around. And for me, when I feel that I was able to help someone, it warms my heart. I feel a little warmer in my heart area. It expands my lungs. I feel like I can breathe more deeply. And sometimes my fingers tingle. Some people feel feelings in their gut, um, or in their arms or legs, the large muscles. Where do you feel it? And so stay with that feeling. Now, the way to stay with the feeling is to reimagine it. You have to put the imagination on the loop. As a matter of fact, that's what we do when we stay in pain, when we stay in anger. We are reimagining it and re-triggering it, because a feeling can only last about 90 seconds in our body. Did you know that? I think that's fascinating. Um, so you feel it and feel it and feel it as long as you can, and do that every day. And after about a week or maybe even two, you'll start to notice that you are feeling that feeling more often because you have triggered your reticular activating system in your brain to recognize and hold on to the good feeling. And that is a release of oxytocin and dopamine. How cool is that? So, neurotransmitters really make a difference in how we feel. And feeling good about the work we do is a counterbalance to um, secondary traumatic stress and burnout. You have the capacity within you to feel better about your work, and it makes it more tolerable. Even when you're working too many hours and you are physically worn out, you can reimagine that expression of the possible joy that you have in your work. So, my name is Edie. I am your 911 virtual chaplain. I serve as the director of the 911 Chaplain Academy, and I am here for you because I love you.